All right, welcome back. Um, so in the last video, we covered the setup for the command line interface that we will be using for the project. Anyway, in this video, we're going to go over the first few problems in Project Euler. So let's just get into it. So this is the first problem that we have. Um, yeah. So if we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of the multiples is 23. Find the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5 below 1000. Pretty simple. Should be an easy problem to solve for a beginner. So I think if we go over our setup from last time, what we did was we had this problem mapper which returned to us the solution for that particular problem number. And for one, we have already set up an empty dummy function, and we're going to write our solution here. So we're going to get an input, which will be, in this case, it will be 23 or 1000. So I guess we can set up a few tests uh, for our solutions. And in in this, we will be testing all of the input values that possible for the problem, like which we care about, and the solutions for them. And we can try to run the tests, and it'll just run all of the problems that we have solved so far. To do that, we're going to import testing, which is the framework for uh, running tests in GoLang. We're going to have a test multiples right here. And this will be taking, yeah, we're getting the recommendation. So it'll take uh, the testing instance as a parameter, and we can like define all of the test cases here. So I think we can like create an array of struct which will have like a name for the uh, for the test case. It will have the input and the expected output, right? uh, and we can define the array this way. So the first one will be something like S1. We have 23. Sorry, we have 10 as the input because right here we are looking for all numbers below 10, and the sum of those is 23. So 10 would be our input in this case, and we would be expecting 23 as the output, right? And similarly, we would have a test two, which would be 1000. And I guess we will find out what the answer is here. Um, and we can like loop through all of the test cases uh, this way. So we can have arrange test cases, which will invoke the function. Uh, let's see. We can have the we can invoke the function this way, multiples, and in this we can pass the test case input. And if the multiples isn't equal to what we expect from the test case, then we can probably panic and we can say that expected something and receive something. Or we can do something like format error F. Mm, Yeah, yeah. So percentile D is what we use to represent an integer, and received that. So what were we expecting? We were expecting the test case output, and we received multiples. Hmm, What's the issue? Called but not used. Why is that? Okay, it's not format error. It's we'll be sending this in the test case instance that we have here. So this is essentially our test case setup. Now, if we go over and run make test, we don't have a make test, so we need to have that now. So we can do this. Uh, the most simple way of doing this would be something like go test and this, I think. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we'll need to do that. And then we run make test, and this will run the tests. Clearly, it's failing now because we haven't really implemented the function yet, but it is working. And then we can like make it a bit more fancy and generate a coverage report and everything. But for now, I think uh, this looks pretty good. Uh, I mean, yeah, why not? Let's just have a coverage report. Uh, we can do something like this, like where there are a bunch of flags that we can pass. Let's see. GoLang coverage report. Yeah, cover profile. I think that's it. So I think we'll need to say cover profile, and we can give it the name of the file that the coverage report will be dumped to. So it'll be something like coverage.log, and then we run the test. So if we do make test now, we should see an empty-ish coverage report generated. Yeah, there it is. So it just shows like the lines that we haven't covered or something like we can get to that later on and we'll need to add that to our get ignored uh, coverage.log because we don't need this we don't need to keep track of this in our git anyway. Now it's time to solve the problem itself. So the most simple way I think is to like loop through all of the values from uh, loop through the values from 1 to 10 or maybe 2 to 10. That'll be the best way to do this. So 1 I less than equals input I plus plus, and then we check if I is a multiple of 3. And this essentially means that if we divide I by 3 and the remainder is 0, or if I is a multiple of 5, then we need to keep track of this. Now, so we'll need to have a variable that keeps track of the total so far. So we'll add the the current I to the total, and then at the end we will return the total. Now, instead of running make test, I think it'd be better if we run make run, and then uh, uh, I think we'll need to pass some inputs and outputs. What was that? Yeah, so it'll be problem equals 1, input equals 10, and we'll see what we're getting back. We're getting back 0 for some reason. Let's see why that's happening. So total is initially 0, and uh, we're looping through input, we're adding I to the total, and we're returning it back, and we're still getting 0. Why is that so? Let's just try to print out the current I and see if we're actually even looping through it, uh, or if there's something else going on. Yeah, so clearly we're looping through the input values, uh, and we're seeing if it is divisible by 3 and 5. I guess this is the question, right? It's supposed to be, oh no, it's not. It's supposed to be divisible by either 3 or 5. So my bad. I think this should give us our output. What's wrong? 33. That's not the answer. Let's see why that happened. 3 or 5, and we gave it the input 10, and it loops through. Let's just print out the I that's being added to the total. So it is 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Okay. Are we including 10? No, we're not. So this is the problem. Cool. We're getting 23, which we expect. Awesome. Now we're going to try to run it with the actual question, which is 1000, and we get the answer. I'm going to log into this account real quick and show you what the if it passes or not. Okay, we have logged in. Now let's copy this and paste it in. Good, that's the right answer. So I guess that's the first problem. Uh, and we can like have this in the test case as well, like the expected output was this. And now when we run make test, it should pass all of our tests. There we go. So I guess this is a great exercise for developing the habit of writing logic in a new language. In the next video, we're going to do we're going to do problem 2 of Project Euler. So stay tuned.